Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to absolutely master one of the most important, and I mean really important chapters for your exams, statistics. Let's get right into it.
So think about this for a second. You've got this huge pile of data, right? It could be your class test scores, maybe the runs of batter scores in a whole cricket season. How on earth do you boil all of that down to just one single number that tells the whole story? Well, that's the big question, and that's exactly what we're going to figure out today.
To do that, we use something called measures of central tendency. I know it's a kind of fancy term, but the idea is actually super simple. We're just trying to find a central, or a typical, value for all of our data.
Now, there are three main ways we do this, three core concepts you've got to master. Think of them as our three champions for making sense of data. We've got the mean, which is just the average, the mode, which is the most popular value, and the median, which is the one smack dab in the middle. We're going to tackle them one by one, and first up is the one you probably already know, the mean.
Yep, the mean is just the good old average. It's a word you hear all the time, right? Average score, average rainfall, you name it. But for your exams, we've got to know how to calculate it properly, especially when we're dealing with grouped data.
Okay, whoa, take a look at this formula. I know, it looks a little intimidating at first, right? This is for something called the step deviation method. But trust me on this one, this formula is your secret weapon, especially when you're dealing with big, clunky numbers. It's going to make your calculations so much simpler and faster.
And here's the game plan. It's a simple, 6-step process. If you follow these steps in this exact order, you're going to get the right answer every single time. It's pretty much foolproof. So, let's stop talking about it and actually use it on a real exam-style question.
Okay, let's put it to work. We've got data here for 45 bowlers. See how we've laid out our table? Exactly like the step said. We picked an assumed mean, A, right from the middle, 200 in this case. Then we calculated our UI and FI UI for each row. The magic happens when we sum them up. Our total frequency is 45, and the sum of FI UI is negative 106. Now, all we do is plug those two simple numbers into our formula. See? So much easier than wrestling with the big original numbers.
All right, great job. You've totally got the mean down. So let's move on to our second champion, the mode. This one is all about finding what's most popular, or the most frequent value. Think about it. A shoe company doesn't really care about the average shoe size. No, they want to know the most common shoe size, because that's the one they need to make the most of. That's the mode in action.
And here's the formula for the mode. It might look like a lot, but it's all about finding one key piece of information first, the modal class. And that's just the fancy name for the class interval that has the highest frequency. Once you spot that, everything else just kind of falls into place.
And here's how you do it. A super simple 4-step process. First, find that class with the biggest frequency. That's your modal class. Then you just identify its buddies, L, H, F0, F1, and F2. Plug them in and solve. Let's see it happen.
All right, let's look at a real example. We've got the lifetimes of 225 electrical components. So first step, just scan the frequency column. What's the biggest number you see? Yep, it's 61. Bam. That means our modal class is 60 to 80. So simple. And now that we have that, the rest is just picking out the pieces. Our L is 60, the frequency before it, F0 is 52, and the one after, F2 is 38. You just pop those into the formula and you're golden. See? It's really not that bad.
I know that formula can be a little tough to remember when you're under pressure in an exam. So here's a quick memory trick. Think of that main frequency, F1, as the winner of a competition. The whole formula is just a tug of war happening around it between its two neighbors.
Awesome! We've crushed the mean and the mode. Time for our final champion, the median. The median is the true middle value if you lined up all your data in order. And it's super useful when you have a few really high or really low numbers. We call them outliers that might mess up your average. Like, think about calculating the average income in a city. One billionaire could really skew the result. The median gives you a much better picture.
So to find the median in grouped data, we need a new tool in our toolkit, something called cumulative frequency. We also need to find n, which is just the total number of observations. From there, we calculate n divided by 2. That magic number is our guide to finding the all-important median class.
So here's the plan. First, and this is the most important part, you have to create that cumulative frequency column. It's just a running total. Then you find your n/2 value. That value tells you exactly where to look for your median class.
Once you've got that class locked in, you have all the pieces you need to solve the puzzle.
Okay, check this out. We're looking at the lengths of 40 plant leaves. So, our n is 40. What's n divided by 2? It's 20. Now, we just look down our cumulative frequency column for the first number that's bigger than 20. And there it is, 29. That means our median class is right there, 144.5 to 153.5. Now we know our L, our F, our CF. We have everything we need to find that median leaf length.
Wow, fantastic work! We have officially covered all 3 measures of central tendency. Now, let's bring it all together on one super powerful summary slide. This is going to be your ultimate cheat sheet for revision.
Seriously, pause and screenshot this slide right now. It's perfect for that last-minute revision before your exam. It tells you exactly what each measure is, gives you the core idea behind the formula, and, this is the most important part, tells you when to use each one. Understanding that is absolutely key.
Okay, now it's your turn. I'm going to throw a few quick revision questions at you. Remember, the best way to really learn this stuff is to actually do it. So pause the explainer, give them a shot, and let's see how you do.
All right, first one. A nice quick question on the mean. This is all about knowing that basic direct formula.
Question 2 is a direct hit on the mode formula. Do you remember what that little F0 stands for?
For question 3, think about the median. What's that very first number you need to figure out to even start looking for the median class? And for our last one, this is a big picture question. It tests if you understand why we have these 3 different tools. Which one should you reach for in this situation? And there you have it. You are now fully equipped to take on any question about mean, median, and mode. I'll leave you with this final thought. Start looking around you. What other real-life situations can you now analyze with these tools? The answer is pretty much everything. Keep practicing and you are going to absolutely ace this.